Ralph here in the Microjig shop. Now, I've got this rather large cutting board that I need to plane down and surface both sides. The problem is that this is 19.5 square, and my spoil board is about 22. Now, I've got the edge guides on here. That takes up 2 inches, but even without those, I've got plenty of room to clamp front to back, but I have no room for the clamps on the spoil board side to side. And I can't use the overhead clamps that came with the machine because I need to be able to plane this whole top. So what are we going to do? I came up with an idea. I'm going to use the edge guides anyways because that allows me to establish my 0 corner here and not have to mark and make them, measure to the center of this. But I can bring in my ramp clamps behind the part here and here, and I'll do that to lock the piece down front to back. I've got an edge guide on this side, so the board can't move this way, it can't move this way, but it can move this way. So how do we fix that? Well, over here on the far side of the part, I've got a little bit of extra bed. It's not usable from the bit standpoint, but it's certainly usable from a clamp standpoint. So what I did was I prepared a piece of stock, 3/4 thick, same as my spoil board, with a couple of dovetails going across it. I made it wider and then cut it down, and I drilled some 1/2-inch counterbore 1/4-inch through holes to put our dovetail hardware on, specifically the track nuts. Those slip into the T-tracks. I measured the holes and aligned them to the T-tracks. So now I can bring this in, I can tighten it in place, and it just basically becomes an extension of the spoil board. Again, it's outside the working envelope. I can't make it as part of my spoil board, but it's a nice piece I can add and subtract as needed. And now I can take our ring clamps and I can put that in here, lock it in, and then tighten it. Same thing on this one. So this allows me to now block the movement of this part in all 4 directions. There's no way that this piece can move around now once I get all the clamps on it. And that's going to help me plane this down. And it's, a little bit bigger than this machine should be able to do, but with a little bit of thinking outside the spoil board, we're able to do it. So this is something to keep in mind on your machine. And depending on the way your machine is set up, this one is longer than it is wide. Others are wider than they are long. You could put the same sort of extra spoil board extension on the back. So just keep that in mind next time you're trying to do a project that's a little bit bigger than the space you have to work with.